Okay, so you guys see this image right here? Very beautiful, very demure. This is called the Boss Supercluster, also known as the Boss Great Wall. And yes, I'm taking it there. The Great Wall refers to the ice wall, the one that's enclosing us within this realm. So the Boss Great Wall was discovered in 2016. Let's look at some things in Antarctica that was discovered in 2016. So in January 2016, scientists announced evidence of a large subglacial lake and an interconnected canyon system hidden under the ice. So here's a visual display of a subglacial lake for you guys. So you see up here, this is the ice. It is covering Antarctica, and these little blue circular things, those are the lakes that are underneath the ice. But what's most interesting about these lakes that are underneath the ice is that they contain their own ecosystems, their own unique life forms. So basically it's like another world beneath the ice. But the particular subglacial lake that I'm talking about is the one that was discovered under the ice in East Antarctica's Princess Elizabeth Land. So when you look up the etymology of the word Elizabeth, you get Shiva. And we all know Shiva is a Hindu god that embodies destruction and recreation. What's interesting about Shiva is that some texts describe Shiva appearing from a fiery pillar of light. And this is a visual representation of a fiery pillar of light, which is also mentioned in the Bible because God used that as a guide for the people of Israel. So there's this movie called Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. So in the ending scene, you see that they bring out this golden artifact. Once they open this artifact, this smoke-like stuff starts to come out. And then it literally turns into a fiery pillar of light, as you can see here. And then it destroys everything around it and begins to suck everything back up into the sky. As you can see, the hole in the sky is becoming larger. And once it's done sucking everything back up into the sky, the hole closes and the fiery pillar of light disappears. So basically the hole in the sky represents a portal, and the fiery pillar of light is like the interdimensional travel of something either entering this realm or leaving this realm. And as I said before, Antarctica has these portals that lead beyond the realm, as well as underwater portals that you can go through. And I believe a lot of these underwater portals are buried beneath the ice. Therefore, it's extremely hard to access. And any of the other portals are heavily guarded. As you can see, the opening right here and the opening up there. That's why no random person can just go exploring in Antarctica for the hell of it. It's heavily military guarded. And as you also know, there is a no-fly zone over Antarctica. The no-fly zone over Antarctica is actually a spell-casting tactic. As you can see, this literally makes up the shape of, you see the upside down triangle with the X through it. The upside down triangle with the X through it. This is the same as this. And Lucifer, we know, is the king of deception. And that's how you know that they are deceiving us into thinking that there are not lands beyond the ice wall. There are actually hundreds of different realms that we could be able to travel to through these portals. And I find it so interesting that the sigil of Lucifer is basically represented in this no-fly zone of Antarctica, because I made a video 9 months ago telling you guys that hell could be in Antarctica. Notice in this image of the Boss Great Wall, it says that a potential civilization's paradise. Why would they refer to this as paradise? If this represents the Great Wall, then that means the lands beyond the wall would be considered paradise, heaven. So if we are within the ice wall down here, we are enclosed in hell. Once you escape the Great Wall, then you have access to all the other planets, which are the other realms, hence paradise at the top. So the planets we think are up in the sky are really just other realms that we have not yet gained access to. And remember, when the scientists discovered the subglacial lake, they said it had an interconnected system hidden under the ice. Is this not an interconnected system here? Let's say if this is us right here in the known world with the ice wall, if we go beyond it, we have access to this larger scale interconnected system. Each growing cluster in this image could represent another land, civilization, or world unseen but interconnected. The filaments in this cosmic web resemble arteries or ley lines, suggesting energy flow between different worlds. For those of you that don't know what ley lines are, they're invisible lines that connect ancient sacred sites or prominent landmarks across the realm. And as you can see from this map of lands beyond the ice wall, these realms are not isolated, but rather a part of a larger network. As you can see, they're all enclosed within the Great Dome. Beyond the Great Dome is the unknown zone. So we don't know what's out there, but everything within is a part of the same system, interconnected system. And just like those subglacial lakes, each land has its own beings, its own ecosystems, its own sun and moons. So these black voids that are located between all these different galaxies, that could represent these impassable ice structures. But everything that you see that is colorful and bright, those represent life and civilization. For example, Earth being right here with our ice wall, there are other realms that also have their own ice walls. Every civilization has their own dome or barrier enclosing them. And this says that the Boss Great Wall is one of the largest superstructures in the observable universe, though there are even larger structures known. So this ice wall is one of the largest structures in the universe. But as you can see by this ice wall, there are ones larger than the one we are contained in. Look at this one, even larger.